I wanted to review the book, and I was going on with my honest review, but then I realized that it had too many spoilers and I don't want to give it away. But I think Verity is kind of dark, and it has a bit of suspense thriller factor with a little of, it deals with very sensitive topics. But I would like to read the first line to give an idea what this book is about. And it's very, the first line I found very engaging, and it caught my interest. So it goes like, I hear the crack of his skull before the splattering of blood reaches me. This happens right after she has come out of the house after, I think, 2 weeks. She's been in a depressive episode after her mother's death, and she comes out, and this is what happens with her. Her being Lowen. So one of the things that I want to talk about is that I found Lowen to be very uh, dissociative. She was an interesting character, but she didn't have much character to it. If that makes any sense, because I found that she was very simple. Even after having so many bad omens, any normal person would feel like they should not go on with the plan. But I realized that she had financial troubles and whatnot, but she did not do her research very well. So Loman is actually very confused, like what is the bigger alternative motive that Verity has for letting another woman come into her house, live in their uh, bedroom and everything. Verity is very, in the manuscript, she's shown very disturbed in her mind, and Lowen is actually very worried that what does Verity want with her beyond just writing her books. So it becomes very creepy when she and Jeremy come. Whenever they are close, they are in the same room. She would see Verity. She would see, if she's paralyzed, she's just roaming around the house. She sees Verity moving in her bed, and the TV turns off, and all these creepy things are happening. So she doesn't understand what does Verity want, and now she's living in their house, in their bedroom, in her study room, and everywhere Verity has. So what does Verity want? She's very confused about all of that. Creepy son doesn't help, of course. He is always there, and he is talking to Verity, and Verity talks back to him apparently, and he is talking about how Verity is telling him things to do and things not to do. And it feels like Verity is hiding. Of course, she's hiding her illness and whatnot. So Lowen is just very worried. Another thing is that I found the plot to be moving very much in favor of the, there was not many complications in the plot. It goes very simply, straightforward. I think I expected a little bit of more thrill and chase, but it did not go like that. I believe that this was Colin Hoover's first time writing in this genre, and this could be the reason. But I really highly enjoyed the writing style nonetheless, because I think Colin Hoover is an exceptionally talented writer. Of course, she's written so many successfully selling books, and I wanted It Ends With Us to be my first book, but it's very big and it's very intimidating, so I shied away from it, and I went with Verity. Another thing is that Verity is very short. It's like 8 hours of audiobook I found online. And I think that is a very good thing about suspense thriller. They should be short, concise, and keep audience engaged until the suspense is revealed. And if it's too long, it's too boring, it gets, lose interest. That is something that happened with me when I read many of the suspense thrillers in the classic genre, of course. Okay, if we're past all the synopsis and review, I have a few theories about Verity that I want to discuss, because I think this book deserves a sequel, because of course it leaves you on a cliffhanger in the end. Uh, Again, I was about to give you a spoiler, but I think we deserve a spoiler. We deserve a sequel, because what happens in the end? I have a few theories. First being the manuscript versus the final letter. Verity leaves a letter in the end telling all the details about her manuscript and her feelings, and everything that I can't review, I can't tell about, because it's a good. I think it'll give you a big spoiler. But in my opinion, I believe Verity's last letter. That is, I believe that Jeremy is the one who is doing, organizing all of this. I don't believe him, and I believe that Lowen had did a big mistake going with him. Uh, because, and then again, why, if he was so partial towards, all of this, and I have a theory that he didn't wanted Verity in the first place. He didn't wanted this life. He didn't wanted, all this that comes with Verity and having a family and having a partner. But he got caught up in all of that, and now he is, had to organize all of this. He just wanted to live a lavish lifestyle that comes with Verity's writing and her publishing and everything. But then again, I was contradicted with his response to his son. It has so much going on, and I hope that we'll get a second part so that all of this could be, solved, and I would finally get the peace of my mind, because I want to know what happened after it. At a point, I also thought that uh, Verity's manuscript and letter and everything is arranged by Lowen herself, because she is obsessed with Jeremy. And at some points, I felt like the end diary and the letter is all because she, of course, is the writer of the same genre. And I was hoping that this would turn out to be a, plot twist where she is the one who is organizing all of this. But I don't know, because the ambiguous ending has left me so unsatisfied for so long, and I can't comprehend what is going to happen. But yeah, I at a point, like any of three, Lowen or Verity and Jeremy, any three of them could be the one behind this, because I need a bad guy. I cannot be satisfied until this unravels, to have one person behind it and not just a common mistake and misunderstanding. That would be really unsatisfying. But then again, I want a sequel, and I hope we'll get a sequel for the book. There was this point in the book where Ashley is looking for alcohol, but she couldn't find any at any, like, she didn't have, the Crawfords didn't have any alcohol in the house, which was very suspicious. And I thought it to be a part of Jeremy's plan, because he'll lose his senses, and he'll come to realize that what he has done and all of his mistakes and whatnot. And I feel like Jeremy, I really want Jeremy to be behind all of this, and Verity just to be a victim who. And again, I was about to give a spoiler, but the way in the end Jeremy, very nonchalantly gets rid of Verity, uh, it's that doesn't settle well with me either. Okay, so now let's come to my favorite part, where I would recommend books to you that are similar to Verity, or people who have enjoyed Verity would enjoy these books. The first book is Gone Girls, of course, because this book is very similar to Verity. If you have read this book, you get the idea how these are, very similar, and they have similar motives and a very dubious female lead. So I think if you've enjoyed Verity, you will enjoy this, and if you've read this, you will enjoy Verity. So I would recommend this. The second book I would recommend is Gone Girls. Oh, sorry, Good Girls Guide to Murder. I just bought this book. I'm not in a rush to read it, but it is very similar in the point that it has also a detective trying to solve, a female lead trying to solve the mystery. And it's, I believe that the protagonist in this is more interesting than Lowell is. So I would recommend this one. The next book that I would recommend is Silent Patient. Verity is immobile, she has no dialogues, yet she is a very present in the situation, and she plays a very important role. And I think without dialogues, it is very difficult to convey, but Silent Patient does it. And I think that would be a great book too. If you enjoyed Verity, you would also enjoy that. The next book is Husband Secret. This book I have not read, but people kept recommending, and it came up in my recommendation when I was looking for books that was similar to Verity. The next book that I would recommend is Ghostwriter, because they have similar motives. Of course, both the protagonists are writer, so that is an interesting twist to it. Next is the Paris apartment. In this Paris apartment, I remember reading the synopsis is that the lady, the main protagonist, is visiting her brother and he's gone missing. Now she is responsible to find out what happened to her brother and discovering a very dark secret about him. And I think that is something that happened with Lowen because she moved in with Verity and Jeremy, and she found out that the marriage that they have is not as ideal and as beautiful as it seems, and the family is more in deeply troubled than they let on. So I think Paris Apartment and Verity have similarities. Another book that I read this year was The Maid. This was actually a good thriller. It was more of a suspense and less of a drama. It has elements of murder, of course, but it was not very gruesome as Verity was. But I think the plot twist and the grand reveal of it, and all the it has many factors that are similar to Verity. So this was another book that I wanted to read in this year. It's a popular book. It came out this year, I think in January or March, but it's one of the most talked about book. So I think in the mystery murder genre, it's a very talked about book in the murder mystery and suspense genre. So I think people would enjoy it, and I liked Nita Pro's writing style. Also, it was also very fast paced. So if you want to read that, go ahead. So with this, I wrap up my review of Verity. I think I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads and 3.75 on Storygraph. So if that's any margin to you, I think it's a good book and it's worth reading. I think audiobook was the perfect choice for it because it helped me get over the monotonous part really quickly, and I could enjoy the best part of it's like the listening to dual narration in the Verity's manuscript and the point of view of Lowen. I think that was amazing to experience, and it's best suited in the audiobook style. And with that, I am done with my review. Thank you for watching or listening to me read, review, and recommend books that are related to Verity. And if you've enjoyed the video, like, share, subscribe, you know the drill. And I'll see you in the next one. What am I going to do in the next one? I don't know, but I know it's going to be great. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.